Vale, ya estáis, sí. Ya habéis empezado.
Salgo ahí nublado, ¿no? A ver.
La verdad que sí, tío.
Ay, oh, ¡qué entrada!
Ya, vaya, cuando quieras.
We are live.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Grandmaster Francisco Vallejo from Spain. We are here with the woman Grandmaster Lara Ong, twice world champion, junior world champion. And we are here to explain some games, some attacking games, very beautiful ones. I was proud enough to show one of mine, maybe we will have time to show it, but also Laura's games, Mikhail Tal games, and many interesting games. We are promoting one. This is a platform. You can see the information, I think on the left. You should be able to see the information about Tilt Chess. We are giving lessons about not only chess, but also chess psychology. It's very interesting. It's very affordable, and today it's for free, so even better for you. You can check around. In the end of the lesson also, Laura will be explaining a little bit about the platform. And well, that's more or less the idea. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we'll be sharing our thoughts with Laura. And I let her start. Yeah, okay. Welcome, Laura.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for having me. Yes, I'm one of the coaches here. This is my first lesson, so let's see how this is going to be. Today we are going to see basically the art of the attacking chess. So when we talk about attacking chess, we usually think, oh, sacrifices and forcing moves and so many calculations. But actually attacking can also be very beautiful, and actually for me it really is art. And today we're gonna see a few games where we can actually see the beauty of the attacks. Also one of Vallejo's games where he is gonna show the beauty of his attack.
I actually did sacrifice a couple of pieces in that game, so
yeah. And see, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's just not only about sacrificing, but also about the aesthetic of the sacrifice, right? Which actually we're gonna see in the games, for example, of Mikhail Tal. He is known as the magician of Riga, so that means that his moves were actually kind of magic in the way that he sacrificed his pieces, sometimes his queens. And yes, hopefully today you guys are gonna be interested in what we're gonna see.
He has some very amazing games. I mean, we could do just a lesson only about him because his games are just unbelievable. And he has one very funny anecdote about, like, sometimes he had like 3 or 4 pieces that are attacked, and what he does, instead of just removing one of those, he puts another one. So the opponent can take like any of those pieces, but it's just you. And he said something like, "Okay, but you have only one move to take my piece, so you cannot take all of them. You have to choose one of those only."
Yeah, that was his great saying. Yeah, if a lot of pieces are hanging, you can only take one anyway. But yes, I've been quite kind of inspired by him, because actually we shared a birthday. We shared the same birthday,
Wow.
so that's why I was kind of already inspired by him. And then I was checking his games, and I thought that was crazy. I thought that what he did was crazy, which we're gonna see in a game. And then I checked the game with computer, with Stockfish 13. One of the newest computers. And actually he was playing the best moves, computer moves, already back then, coming to sacrifices.
That's very impressive. That's very impressive because he didn't even know if Stockfish was there. He probably missed about that.
Yeah, which is insane. So I guess to start, we can you can see my board, right? We can commentate the game together. So this was a game he played in 1961, which is quite long ago from now. And he was white against Koblenco, I think, if that's how it's pronounced. And Koblenco.
I mean, I'm very bad because I'm Spanish, and like whatever I say, it's probably not gonna be the right pronunciation. I used to know it as Koblenz or something like that.
Yeah, I'm also very bad at pronunciation when it comes to foreign players, but it's okay. the emphasis is on Tal, so that's okay. So first of all, this was just some opening. We're not going to concentrate on openings today. Today we're going to concentrate on the beauty of the attack. So
Neither Sicilian, by the way, even we don't concentrate very much. It's neither Sicilian, and it's a line I've played myself very, very much. It's very interesting. And there was a game right now between Caruana and Bashir. It was like a couple of days ago. Beautiful game as well. This line.
Yeah, Caruana and Bashir Lagrave. Yeah, actually, I think I already have this. I also have this game. Yeah, I have this game in the database as well. If we're gonna have some time, we're gonna check it out because I thought that was also very nice.
This line gives a lot of complicated positions, very beautiful positions. This bishop g5 against the Najdorf is like, it always guaranteed you will get a mess in the board.
Yeah, I think in the other game it happened something like queen b6.
Queen b6. This poisoned pawn was also played a lot by Bobby Fischer.
Oh yeah, you know when we're talking about poison pawn, I actually have exactly the same position on my chess mug. I have exactly the same position, but yes.
You're a very aggressive player as well, you know. So you should have
I should have it. Actually, didn't Ivanchik say the poison pawn in the Najdorf is like a marriage in life? Taking the poison pawn. Yeah. Mr. Ivanchik said taking the poison pawn on b2 is equal to getting married in life. Which is very funny.
Okay, he knows better than us probably because I've never married and I think you haven't married as well. So
no.
Yuki knows more about chess and more about marriages, so he knows for sure.
Exactly, he knows so much more than us. Okay, so let's move on. So bishop e7 was played in this game. Queen f3. Queen c7, and we're gonna see some long castle. And always when it comes to long castles, it means that the game is gonna be aggressive in some way, either on the king side or in the center. Obviously black is gonna try to attack with b pawn and open the position on this side, and if black castles on king side, it already would be a bit dangerous, as also some of the attack is going to happen here.
Yeah, and also this move queen c7 is a very useful one because you get out of the b file, and also you protect against e5. Yeah, this break on e5, it can be also a little bit dangerous for black. So with queen c7 you control the e5 square, you get out of the d file. That's a very important move as well.
Yeah, I agree. I myself, I'm gonna say that I'm not a Sicilian player, so I'm glad that you're here to talk about the opening a bit. So this is that's queen c7. It has a great idea, not only to come on the c5 but also to move away from the rook on d1. And whenever there's a rook and a queen kind of pin on the same line, is going to be dangerous for the queen.
Yeah.
So
and also here on this Sicilian line, sometimes you have the ideas of going rook c8 and rook c3, this sacrifice. But here, as the queen is already on f3, and it's protecting against this rook c3, so it's really, I mean, it's much more important to go out with the queen out of the d file, because e5 can be very dangerous.
Yep.
And here in these positions, b5 is very interesting all the time, b5, b4. But black needs to be careful about moves like e5. You need to calculate some craziness going on. Yeah?
Exactly. Here it's already very, very dangerous, but I think we're gonna see that in the future as well.
b7 and it starts to be a mess all the time. It's very, very typical in this position. So.
Yeah, now I'm just trying to recall what happened in the game, as you know, I didn't memorize it by heart. But I think something similar, if not the same thing, something similar really happened in the game, not exactly the same thing. Knight d7 was played...
By the way, I'm pretty sure Tal is with the white pieces, right?
Obviously, yeah, white is playing white pieces. Tal is playing white pieces. I'm just trying to figure out the arrows on ChessBase, I don't use them a lot.
Yeah, I think with the alt, you can...
Anyway, knight d7, bishop e2 was played. So yeah, white just developing, waiting a bit to see what black is going to do, and then taking advantage of that. h6 bishop h4. I don't know if that's still good. Sometimes when you play h6 with black, you just open your position to even faster attack from white.
Yeah, once you play h6, it's like it's gonna be very dangerous to castle on the short side already. Yeah?
Yeah,
I think it's planning to remain in the center because
yes.
castling on the short side is gonna be very difficult, and castling on the queen side is like really hard to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. So whenever if it came to this position, whenever you're attacking, and your opponent starts moving the pawns on the place where you are attacking, it's only good sign for you because it's gonna make it so much easier for you to open up the position. For example, b5, g5. Either he has to open this or this file somehow. Maybe after this you can even take sacrifice. Not sure, but it looks nice to me. Maybe even go g6. That's also an option. Just open up the file. And so
it makes. I mean, normally when you want to attack against the king of your opponent, you need to open files. And if he moves his pawns, it makes it much easier for you to continue the attack. Yeah?
Exactly. So yes, that's why king will probably stay in the center. And let's see what his opponent. So now he played b5. That's what you were talking about a bit before. This is the idea of black, trying to put the bishop on b7, and then maybe going for some b4, rook c8, or a5, a4.
Yeah. Also, the pawn on e4 will be hanging after bishop b7, b4. White will have a problem immediately on e4. So actually, I think this is one very interesting position, very critical one, because after bishop b7, rook c8, b4, I mean, this becomes very sharp and very dangerous for white as well. So this kind of positions,
yes,
any move is gonna be very important. Yeah, like the pressure on e4 is very hard, and it's like a very critical position. You need to notice when the position is open and with so much pieces like now, any move can be like the end of the game almost. And sometimes in the close positions, if you make a mistake, it's not going to be so important as here.
Exactly. Yeah. I absolutely agree. And that's why in this position, I think that Mr. Tal decided to go all in. I think it was this position. I could be wrong. No, it's this one. E5 was played by Michael Tal. So yeah, like you said, anytime you go b5.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to go e5 before the bishop gets to b7, otherwise it will be much harder. And exactly. It doesn't make much sense for him to go g4, g5, because his opponent hasn't castled yet.
Yes.
So that's why he goes for this. And I'm a little bit worried about the move h6, because it also...
Yeah,
exactly. Here, it will not be so strong anymore.
It's just you open the g file, but it makes like you don't have an attack because the king is really safe in the center.
Yeah,
and it's not totally at all on the king side.
And a move also like h6, the problem it has it weakens the g6 square. And actually, in this kind of positions, you need to be very careful because sometimes, especially when the bishop is on d3 or the queen is on g3, you can easily get something like 96, and then you get the g6 square for the queen or for the bishop. Something like that's a very typical idea.
96. That's a very nice idea to take advantage of this square or this diagonal.
Exactly. You give a check, and then the king will remain in the center, and then you continue the attack.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Sicilians. I don't know how much this is actually played nowadays. I don't believe that much. Oh, sometimes it is.
It's super dangerous for black, to be honest, I think. I mean, mostly people try to play the poison pawn, and they try to memorize everything on the high level. Because these kind of positions are like very, very complicated, and if you're black, you need to be super prepared for this. I think Lenier Dominguez plays similar ideas, for example, with black. But definitely, I mean, you need to be very well prepared. And also, definitely, Lenier is super well prepared. I mean, he studies very much. He's very professional. He's the only Latino in the history that is super professional in chess, I think. So
Yeah, he's really professional. And also his composition and his opening understanding is great.
yeah. I mean, compared to Capablanca, for example, who was like one of the most talented players in the history, and he's well known to be like a little bit lazy, let's say. Like it was so easy for him; he would just play very well. And I think, nowadays the chess got so much more difficult and so much more professional. And I mean, there are a lot of players with talent, but what can make a difference is if you work in a good manner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really agree. There's a bit of talent, but then you should really put a lot of work in that talent as well, right?
Yeah. And for example, I know. I've been working with some world champions, like a little bit with Vishianat, or even more with Topalov. And I remember they were telling me, like, yeah, it's like 1% talent, the rest is work. And if the people who work with the world champion tells you something like that, it's like, oh, this is gonna be tough. And then I realized I will not be a world champion.
I don't know. I wouldn't completely agree with that statement because I know quite some players that actually they just rely on their talent and they still like can be 2700. But I think that yes, if you want to really be top the best world champion, then you really do need to put.
Yeah, because everyone who is, let's say, a grandmaster is a very talented person. Like when they asked Ivanchuk in an interview, what a normal person, I think it was something like that, like what a normal person needs to be a grandmaster, he was saying, sorry, but a normal person cannot be a grandmaster.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Interesting stuff. Okay, so now that how about we teach people how to become grandmasters instead? We can let's just try to analyze this game a bit more.
Tau 25 then here.
Yeah, Tau 25 here, and this is I would say a grandmaster move. I mean, it's extremely good move. I mean, the next move is gonna be grandmaster move, but so for example, here Black plays Bishop E7, very logical move, right? I mean, otherwise you lose something in this position, either rook or a pawn or a knight or something. So Bishop E7, very logical. And here, every normal player that's not gonna be ever a grandmaster, would move the queen, right? The queen is under attack.
We'll play queen g3, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So we play queen g3. This g7 pawn is hanging. We have some chances here.
I don't understand what's happening, but it looks interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I mean, you have to think about this or this. I don't.
Probably d takes e5 is the main move, I guess.
Main move takes back. I don't even know what happens if we just take with the queen. b4 also very tempting, just so you can put your knight on e4 somehow. However, then taking on this is not really great, I guess. But I don't know, just taking.
Probably queen e5, and I don't know. There was this knight e6 before as well. It was interesting. Yeah, but I mean, definitely you need a lot of time to analyze this position to try to make a decent move because it's very wild here.
Yeah, absolutely. But okay, so Michal Tal, I don't know what he was thinking in this position, but he decided he's gonna sacrifice his queen right here, right now, because that's what he does,
That's the first opportunity he gets, he goes for it.
Yeah, first opportunity he gets, he just gives the queen away. Like, he doesn't need it. He's gonna win without it anyway. But okay, this has a deeper meaning than just giving the queen. He obviously calculated, or I wouldn't say calculated. He had deeper positional understanding in what's gonna happen in the future than probably his opponent did. And obviously he calculated a bit, but I think to play this move, you have to be comfortable in giving up the material in order to attack.
Yeah. And I mean, I mean, he was probably the best player in the world at this moment, and he was very confident. And obviously, he was not only very talented, very intuitive player, but also he was calculating very well. I mean, once you get to a level of world champion, obviously they can do anything. I mean, of course, Tal is famous because of being a very great player of attacking. But I mean, he was also an excellent endgame player, and I mean, he was doing everything very well. And people, for example, say Karpov was very positional, but Karpov was calculating so well. So I mean, they can do both very well. So it will be. I mean, they're famous because of some skill, but obviously they are very complete.
Yeah. For sure. If you caught Tal in a strategic game, he would also be very good in it, but he excelled at attacking anyway, because I think it came so naturally to him. I don't think he actually had to really deeply calculate and be worried about, oh, what if that's gonna happen. He was just like, no, this is it, right? I mean, I don't know, like you're born with a feeling. And I don't know, like maybe he even analyzed it before the game, I'm not sure, but this is very beautiful to me, this queen sacrifice.
And also he was not thinking so much about the objectivity, like let's say if this is completely correct. I mean, it didn't matter for him so much. I mean, he wanted to play, he was a sportsman, he wanted to win the game, and he thought his best chances would be if I play like this. So, I mean, he was very, in a way, very balanced in this. I mean, some people want to be very scientific. And this is a sport. I mean, you want to win the game. You need to win the game. And after the game, we can analyze. Maybe this was not the best idea, or maybe yes. But, I mean, he was brave to just go for it. Sometimes it's... and they also, I mean, later tell, but you were lost. Okay, well, I was lost, but I mean... During the game, it's very hard to find all the great defense, so you can win.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm thinking exactly the same way when I play in my game, but then when I think about, for example, 27 players nowadays, and I think I kind of wanted to talk about that, the difference between attacking chess back then versus attacking chess right now. Because everybody's like, oh, what computer does? I'm sure the computer wouldn't play that. Oh no, what is the objective evaluation? Everybody's thinking about that. And like on the top level, me, I'm still not thinking that way. I'm just like, I want to sacrifice this and hopefully I'm gonna win. But in a way, that's the big difference, because that I think when you look at chess at top level nowadays in classical games, you kind of see a lot of more objectivity and a bit more fear, I would say, than back then when computers were still not developed enough.
I think maybe we got a little bit obsessed with the computers.
Yeah.
Because actually, you when you go to play a chess game, you don't have the computer, so just play by yourself and don't care what computer will say or will not say. I mean, just try to play your best moves.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, can I just say that you just got a big raid by Nitrato Chess of 72 players to the Twitch. Yes, thank you so much for the raid and welcome 72 new people.
Yeah, I'm not checking my Twitch. I mean, I haven't streamed on Twitch, but I'm streaming this one. I haven't streamed like in a year. I was very busy. Sorry people. And yeah, nice. I mean, we need to promote Tilt Chess so people can come and learn with us. Every week we have one lesson. It's 4 lessons per month with different grandmasters. We have in Spanish, and we are starting now in English. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity really to learn chess from. I mean, I think people from basically any level can be. But I mean, we have sometimes we got emails from grandmasters, and we are like, come on, you're too strong for Tilt Chess. I mean. But I guess they were joking somehow. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good opportunity to learn chess.
Absolutely. I mean, it's also like worth mentioning. It's very affordable opportunity as well, because not a lot of every platform I see, you're gonna spend 40 euros for one lesson, and here for 1 month you can just pay 12 euros for many lessons that you get, and we're also very strong players. So. Hopefully you can learn a lot.
You're a strong player. I'm a very strong amateur already. Like, I haven't played the tournament in like 7 months or 6 months, So probably next time I go to the board, I cannot move my knight anymore if it's not with the mouse. I can move with the mouse, but on my own, I'm not sure I can do it.
No, I'm sure when you're gonna go back to real chess, you're gonna see, wow, that holding pieces is so much more satisfying than playing with a mouse.
But the good thing about playing online is that you cannot make illegal moves, for example. Yeah? That's good. I mean, like the computer will not allow you to move the piece in the wrong place. Yeah? That's good.
But anyway, you're still a grandmaster, and yeah, we're gonna see why you're such a strong grandmaster in the next games, because you're gonna show one of your games as well.
When I was
that was before you were an amateur, right?
Very good.
No. Anyway, we just made a. So we're analyzing a game by Michal Tal, and we're basically explaining the art of attacking chess. And we have just seen the Queen Sacrifice from Michal Tal, and now we're gonna see why this is such a beautiful way. So the opponent here played d5, which is very logical. You don't want to give your rook away, because the rook is under attack, the bishop is under attack. You cannot protect both, sadly, otherwise you would.
What will happen if I go, for example, let's say bishop f6?
Yeah, actually, I analyzed this with computer just before I came here, and actually, this is the best move.
You shouldn't analyze it. Come on, you should discuss with me.
No, this is the only game I analyzed with computer. So I just wanted to check if that Queen Sacrifice was actually correct, because I was like very suspicious about it. But
I was just kidding, but I just. But okay.
So yeah, here.
Like probably just unclear, no? Or is white in a better position?
No, this is, I think,
a little bit better, maybe, no?
No, it's a bit better for black, apparently. This.
For black even.
Yeah, by Stockfish, it's a little bit better, even though you have a rook and 2 pieces for a queen. So I was very confused by that evaluation as well. But I guess
if we add the points, it will be like rook is like 5.5 points. Bishop is like 3.5, so that's like 9 points, and the knight is like 3 point something, yeah? And that should be like around 12 points, 12 something, let's say. And black has only a queen and a pawn. So by this, it should be like white is better. But probably the future of white's position is like, I mean, you don't really have an attack anymore with white. I mean, like this g4, g5, it doesn't really matter so much. Without the queen, you cannot really mate him.
Exactly.
And I think probably that's the reason why black is doing okay here.
That could be quite a logical explanation, yeah.
Also, the knights, white's knights, they don't have a good spot here, let's say. I mean, they don't have a good squares for the knights. So I guess, I mean, it's very important for these small pieces to have the protection of their own pieces. And for example, let's say if the pawn on e6 wouldn't be there and it will be somewhere else, and then you'll have this d5 square, for example, for your pieces, it will change completely the evaluation, of course. So I mean, the small details are important. Of course, Stockfish will understand it better than us.
Absolutely.
I remember back in the old days when people were saying, yeah, but the computer is not really understanding this anymore. And nowadays I do it the other way around. It's like, we don't understand it very well.
Exactly. This is how it works now. That's why I wanted to ask you, like, if you saw this position, would you prefer to be black or white?
Well, when I asked you about bishop f6, it was because of this position. I wasn't sure what's going on.
Okay.
I mean, when I saw like, okay, the most obvious move will be bishop f6. d5 is like, okay, it's interesting, but it's super dangerous. And actually, I didn't even think about d5 in the moment.
Oh, okay.
But when I was evaluating this position, I was like, well, I'm not really sure what's happening here. Yeah.
I mean, for me, I have not had enough experience in these kind of positions, but just counting the material that I have, a rook and 2 pieces for a queen. I mean, usually just 3 pieces is enough, right? And you have a rook and 2 pieces. I should be pretty happy with what I have received, right?
Well, it looks like Tal was happy as well. So you're not doing it so bad, actually.
Yeah.
You're probably right. I mean, it's just a very, very playable position, and Orftal at least thought it's very unclear, and he likes the position. So, I mean, he was a very practical player. And as we mentioned before, we are sometimes a little bit obsessed with the computer. It doesn't really matter what computer is saying if you are going to play by yourself. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We are thinking too much about the computers.
The computer also changes his mind sometimes. I mean, like sometimes he's giving advantage for you, and then you let the computer think, and he says now it's a different thing. So it's like, come on. I mean, sometimes I couldn't decide during the game. I had like 3 options, let's say. I think for a very long time, and I cannot be sure, and blah blah blah. Then I spent like 40 minutes thinking about this, and I'm not sure. And in the end, I decide to do whatever. And then when I go back to the room, I put them to the computer, and he's also not sure. He's thinking about these 3 moves, and he's just saying, well, all of them are very interesting, and so how could I know which is the best move if the computer even cannot find it? So you need to be very practical in the chess games. Try not to think more than 20 minutes for one move. I mean, don't make the things I do. I mean, I lost so many games in my life because of that mistake, that you overthink, and then you don't have the time when the time is really necessary. I mean, sometimes you have, 2 interesting moves. Okay, choose one of those and go for it. Yeah? Try to be a little bit more practical.
Yeah, I agree. I have the same problem. Sometimes you just have to be practical, but when you're this type of person that just prefers to, have everything calculated out, then it's a bit difficult to be practical. But I have a feeling that Tao was very practical. That he was much more practical, but I do agree that's a skill that everybody should kind of learn in their career.
He was confident. I think most of the world champions, I mean, they have a reason to be confident, but most of them, they play pretty fast and they are confident about what they are doing. And this can actually make a difference.
Absolutely.
And also when they lose the game, they don't really care so much. I mean, they care, of course, but they are confident they are going to get back. I mean, they are not so worried. If I lose this game, okay, Walt is going to continue. And I mean, it happens. What to do?
Yeah, and that's very nice skill to have. But if we go back to the game, so obviously Bishop f6 would have been a better move. However, Black played d5, and now I think here is the move.
Yeah, d5 is a very beautiful move because it tries to get to f4. Yeah, queen f4 is coming. It blocks also the rook, so you cannot take the rook anymore.
Exactly.
So I mean, it has a very beautiful double purpose.
It's a nice move, but I was talking about the white's move. I mean, we don't, like Black is trying to do all he can to stop,
I don't want to help with the black move. So we can give people a little bit of time to think about this, right?
If you guys would be interested to suggest a nice move that Michal Tao played here, we can give you a bit of time. But I'm just trying to look at the chat a bit.
Yeah, I was trying to check. I mean, I don't even know if
I don't know if we will have some viewers.
Nothing yet, because I haven't used Twitch for a long time now.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even know if I remember how to use this from the telephone or anything. Yeah, I mean, it says I'm live, so that's something good at least.
But I have to say that like having a lesson on Twitch and YouTube is completely different than having it on Tilt Chess. When you still have a bit of a private bubble, like students, are gonna listen to you because they're interested in chess, while Twitch and YouTube, it's a bit different.
Yeah, so it's more about fun.
It's more about fun and not so much education.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, we are here to educate you. Please listen to us.
Anyway, grandmasters coming after this lesson. Grandmasters are coming after this.
Yeah. So nobody wants to suggest a move. I hopefully when I have my next lesson.
Also on Tilt Chess, it's like we are a bit more interactive because we have a chat inside the platform.
Absolutely.
So people, I mean, we did some lessons in Spanish already because we started in Spanish. It's
Yes.
most of the people who speak Spanish in our. I mean, Laura is learning Spanish to join the
Obviously.
lessons in Spanish as well.
Obviously.
And we did in Spanish, and of course it's very fun so you can actually ask the grandmaster or the player who's giving the lesson
Yeah.
about what your thoughts are, what do you think about the position, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. It's different and yeah, more comforting in a way. People are scared to suggest a move or they're not listening to us.
I'm not scared. We can go
Yeah,
on.
you-
So I can suggest. I would say 96 looks very beautiful.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that is a beautiful move, isn't it? It's an extremely beautiful move, 96. And that was played by Michal Tal. See, you still have some.
Yeah, still some. I didn't forget everything. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, but for example, just like he just gave a queen away, and then he goes knight e6, not even caring about taking the bishop. He just sacrifices another piece, which is for me like watching this game, just purely like out of like interest. That's to me is kind of great. Yeah, 96. Michael said it as well. Very nice.
It also protects f4 square, which is very important. Huh?
Yes. Protect the effort square, but you have to like think about, okay, I mean he can just take the knight, right? And that's what he did, obviously. And now the line is still not over. Now, yeah. Now, obviously, yeah. So the problem is always, as it was before, that this is a check and at the same time attacking the bishop, right? Like it was before. So basically, then you just lose the game on the spot. So yeah, that's why d5 is also quite a tricky move. But 96, and now followed by bishop h5, also what Michael said.
Yeah. Now we see how important it was, the control of the g6 square. If the pawn would have been on h7, well, of course, Tal wouldn't have played like that.
Yeah.
But now we see that the g6 square can be a very important square here. So you can block the check. Yeah, you could have blocked now.
Yes, exactly. This is such a small difference, but it makes basically it's what makes the queen sacrifice possible in a way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be kind of impossible. But yeah, I mean, look at the power of these two bishops. So now, Black.
Black was regretting why I didn't play the Petrov, the Russian defense. I'm getting killed here.
Why did I go for the knight? Or that's horrible. Yeah, probably Black is just like, oh my god, what am I doing? But at the same time, you look at this position. Okay, White sacrificed the queen. If he's not gonna be able to, convert it, then I'm gonna win, right? But yeah, I mean, you're playing Tal, so it's a bit difficult. So Black here has few options. Obviously, King f8, King d8, King f8, and g6. And I think the opponent played the best move, which is g6.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the best.
That's not an easy move. Definitely.
No, it's not an easy move. King f8 is a bad move because then we just take, the king moves, and we can promote to a queen if you want to. And then we have again a rook and two pieces for the queen, which should be enough for us to.
Yeah, but that's much better version than before.
Exactly. As you said, now it's different structure, a bit more squares to take advantage of in the future.
There's 7 points in there. The rook on h8 is out of play by now.
Exactly. Horrible. So yeah, now that would be very nice. The second move could be king d8, but then there's this very weird line that I'm going to show. Takes, king c8, and now an interesting and apparently the best move here. Do you try to guess? You can guess, but this is a very interesting move. I was like,
if you're saying that, it's like almost saying like e8 is not the move, right?
E8 is not the move. E8 is also not the move, sadly, because of this queen f4 check and losing the piece again. But that kind of gives you a hint to what the next move should be. I was like, wow, like first look I would never play, but maybe in deep thought I would consider that move.
Yeah, that's an interesting position actually.
Very interesting.
Queen f4 is a very unpleasant threat, so we really need to do something about that.
Exactly.
And also, we need the bishop on h4, so we protect against a move like knight f6, for example. So we couldn't move something like bishop g3 because knight f6 would be very strong afterwards.
Exactly. So bishop g3, knight f6, stopping the promotion, and yeah, we cannot.
The bishop attacking the pawn on e7, so it's too many problems sounding.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So we cannot move. We need to protect against queen f4. We are not going to promote. We cannot play bishop g3. So, well, we are running out of options slowly. Yeah?
Slowly we're running out of options. Now I think we have this left, this left, this left, and this left, right? G3 is a bit suspicious.
Yeah, 92 doesn't look like a move, to be honest.
Yeah, this has to be in the attacking mode. So, okay.
You want to, I mean, if you could play f5, it would be beautiful, but the problem is that queen f4 is still unpleasant. Yeah?
Exactly, yeah. F5, it's still queen f4, moves, takes.
Yeah, and it's not enough, I think, for white here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because knight f6 is coming again.
Yeah. I mean, it's still not 100% clear, but it doesn't look like the move. And 92 looks a bit too slow. So, well, I mean, rook f1 looks like the natural move. Rook f1, rook hf1, I don't know.
Yeah, this looks like a natural move. This is a second option, but this is not the best option.
Yeah.
But it is an option, of course.
But it's not brilliant, let's say.
Yeah, it's not brilliant. Somebody suggested knight d5, which, to be honest, would be amazing if we would be able to play that, to sacrifice even another piece. But the problem is that, again, the opponent has the same threat, and you did not solve the threat, sadly.
Maybe with the rook on e1 already could work or something. But I mean,
if the rook was on e1, then supporting this promotion would be
more interesting in that case.
But yeah, so rook d4 is the best move, which is to me like like, okay, of course you play rook f1, it's very natural, but no, rook d4 is the best move.
And now comes something like king b7, for example.
King b7, so b4 was played, but king b7 I think was played in the future.
What comes here? Maybe rook e1 or something? Or...
Yeah, rook e1 seems to be very dangerous.
And yeah, I mean, white has a long-term, has very good long-term initiative as well. Sometimes when you're attacking, you cannot really only focus on the tricks because you will not win immediately most of the times, but you need to continue to put pressure on your opponent and think a little bit long-term. It's not so easy. And here you bring the other rook to the game, and you have a lot of pieces putting pressure on the black's position. Huh?
Exactly. You have only 2 pieces for the queen, but your pieces, all of your pieces, are so active, always have some threats. And that's what actually you should do when you attack. Make sure that all your pieces are going to be in the game. Not that like maybe 3 pieces are going to be on the other side of the board, you're forgetting about them. You should always, include as many pieces as you can in the attack. And yeah, rook e1 is a beautiful move, including not only the rook, but also the knight in the future. And then maybe black can resign very soon.
Yeah, maybe that's why rook f1 was not so good, because actually this rook was needed to come to e1, actually, probably.
Yeah, I think so as well. Oh, okay. I managed to learn how to stop the arrows in one click. That's very nice. So, okay. But, so for example, sorry, rook d4. I'm just going to show the line very quickly. That was analyzed here. So here now we take on d5, and now we go rook d1. Like everything's hanging. And here we have a rook and the piece for the queen, but still we are so active. The power of the bishops is gonna be extremely good as the king is very open. And apparently this is kind of good.
Yeah.
White.
And White's king is super safe here also.
Yes,
That's
which
very
is
important.
Very, very good. Very good. So yeah, now in this position, black played g6. We took.
Yeah, and that gives the g7 square for the king, which is important.
Yes, exactly. That's a big difference. That's why king f8 immediately is bad, and this is why g6 is a better move. And okay, so yes, takes king 7, and now like tactics is not over. Once you start attacking, tactics never ends. And here we go even bishop g3. We say,
It's
haha.
it's the only move to save the piece, right?
Exactly. It's the only move, but at the same time, it's really a beautiful move. Because black can just not take the bishop, because we just have this very nice tactic, check and attacking the queen, and then we get the queen and probably the game very soon.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, the only move, but to me, extremely beautiful move. This could be a bit subjective, but to me, it's really nice. Yeah, so let's just quickly see how the game continued. We put another piece in the game, like we said, put as many pieces in the attack as we can. b4 played supposed to be a big mistake due to f5, but Michal Tal, he's not a computer, he's not gonna see all the best moves. f5 is the only winning move, and line goes like this.
I mean, it is winning, but it's not absolutely obvious.
Exactly, it's not really clear. If I was calculating this, I was like, okay, I'm in exchange down. There's not. I mean, I have a great pawn on e6, but like, is it that actually winning, or?
I mean, it looks, of course, very promising. You have a couple of pawns, but I wouldn't evaluate it as like completely winning. I mean, like it looks just probably good for white or better for white, but winning is maybe too much. Huh?
I agree.
It might be easy. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I mean, he played rook e6 immediately.
That looks very promising as well, because he wants to play f5, bishop e5 or something like that maybe later. Yeah?
Yes. So let me just show you f5, bishop e5, very nice pin, most likely winning this knight, and the king is gonna be in checkmate net very soon. So yeah, he took f5 played, queen b7, opla, trying to checkmate us in one.
So, because otherwise bishop e5 will be coming and it will be over. Yeah? I mean, like, he has maybe a move like queen d7, queen e6 idea. Yeah? So white needs to be careful here as well. For example, queen d7 instead of queen d7.
Queen d7, okay, yeah, queen d7 here.
You need to be careful with white, because if bishop e5, queen e6. Yeah?
Oh, okay, this, and then this.
And yeah, now probably black is winning. Yeah,
yeah, because now it's different.
Or I don't know, if looking at one is still possible.
This move, and then we take on. Okay, this is not good. Yeah,
it is coming later. And it's not really.
It's not so clear.
But,
yeah.
At least, I mean, it looks a little bit unclear here. Who knows what's happening? But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely looks a bit unclear, because. Yeah,
I mean, there are CB2, for example, check. Who knows what's, because then you can get the B8 square for give another check, but okay, it doesn't really matter. It's just a random line I said.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you pointed that out for sure. Okay, so but queen b7, b3 protecting the mate.
Oh, b3 is a little bit surprising for me, because. I mean, this pawn on c3 is very scary.
You would take it, right? You would take on c3.
I mean, it looks a little bit more logical to take it somehow. But of course, you're opening the b file, so Tal decided to keep the b file closed. But I mean, I would say a little bit scared about letting this pawn alive on c3.
I do agree. For example, b3. I don't know if queen b4 was played. It was not.
Yeah, and you have by miracle bishop d6. I think. No, well, not by miracle. I mean, he probably saw it, but.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then you have a4 or something.
b1 or something. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Or what? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, still a very interesting position.
Yeah, for sure. But I do agree with you that playing b3 is a bit suspicious, but it's okay.
It looks scary at least, no? It looks scary.
Yeah, it does look scary. It does. I wouldn't, but at the same time, I guess you can always just move the rook and move the king. I don't know, because this is
I mean,
so uncomfortable
Black
for
is
black.
just a thread that Black needs to solve that. Yeah.
So Queen d7 was played now. And this was played. See, okay, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into exactly the same position, except
Oh, with the pawn on b3 actually.
yeah, exactly with the pawn on b3. But yeah, rook f1. Look, and actually, it's winning. It's interesting.
Wow. I mean, with
Yeah.
the pawn b2, it might be a little bit different, but probably still good for white. Yeah.
No, okay. Knight h7 was played, and takes and rook f8.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. That's,
Yeah, which
that's really beautiful move actually. That's really beautiful.
that's insanely beautiful. I do agree, because if he takes with the knight, we promote to a queen. We do not take. And if it takes, which was played, we get to this pawn endgame, which white is winning at the end. But I do agree that if we took on c3, it would be easier to win, but at the same time, it's winning anyway.
This is still pretty easy here because you have an extra pawn on the g file, so that should give you an easy win here. Even without the g pawn, it's still probably winning.
I think so too.
Because the c3 pawn is very weak, and you can easily create a pass pawn on the queen side, like with b4, a4, and you create very easily a pawn on the.
Yeah, it's now it's much easier to create a pass pawn. For example, a b4, a4 is the right way, or actually a4 is also interesting. Anyway, but first we can put the king. We take this one.
That's easy.
Yeah, but I think that was very nice. Like not only queen sacrifice, also the knight sacrifice, and then the end rook f8 was a very nice example of the art of attacking, as that was the title of today's lesson. To not concentrate on the rules when you have to do to attack, but how the attacking can actually be an art. So now, I don't know, which game do you want to do?
Oh,
because
show us one of your games. I mean, and I guess people need to subscribe to Tilt Chess, so we make another lesson and we can show all of these games, because we will not have time to show all of this today.
Okay, for sure. So I'm gonna show one of my games, and then we can go on your game, and then I think it's gonna be very well rounded up at the end.
Yeah, in the end, we're going to show a little bit about the Tilt Chess platform, so you can also do other things, not just follow the lessons on Tilt Chess, but you can also use the platform in different ways, and Laura will explain a little bit about that.
Absolutely, can't wait. So people know actually why we're here.
No, you can see I think in the left, although I'm not seeing it, I just see the board, but people on the left can see about the website, and they can have a look around and see the information.
Yes. No, I'm just looking that you have a lot of Spanish fans. Obviously, that's a fact. But for me, it's like completely new world here in the chat. So, hola.
The Spanish community is very big. You know, I mean, we have all the Latin America, and it's like a lot of people who play chess there. When I go to, for example, to Dominicana or to Costa Rica, to Panama, they are so enthusiastic there, and I really feel like I'm very welcome there. I really feel like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm always very impressed by the Spanish community. It's really, really big. I've not visited a lot.
Also, in a way, for the Spanish community, I mean, we always struggle to learn English, so it's very interesting for them to actually even try the English lessons, because it's like our vocabulary is not so complicated. When I see sometimes a streamer in English, like they're from the real England or something, it gets like super difficult. They speak very fast.
Yeah.
They speak with a lot of slang words and everything, and it can become a little bit more complicated. But with our English, it's like I'm always joking that my English is one of the best English in the world, because anyone can understand me. It's like very easy to understand me.
Yeah. True, that's true. You know, we'll keep it simple. Yeah, do not complicate stuff. So it's open to everybody. I do agree. Okay.
So here, okay, you can we can try to guess which color you are. So you can show the game a little bit. I'll try to guess with which pieces are you playing. Yeah?
Oh, you're gonna try to guess?
I will try to guess. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go for it like this.
Okay, then you're black.
So I am a d4 player all the way. You're never gonna see me play one e4. So that was very easy to guess who was
Maybe it was the only time in your life when you played d4.
To be honest, have I ever? No, I don't think I ever actually played d4. I did play d4, d5, e4, and then it transposed to the French e6. But I did prepare for that. But that's still not one
d4, d5, e4 you played? You gave a point just like that?
Yeah, I was losing all my games in the tournament, and I was sick of the theory, so I just wanted to surprise.
And she played e6. She didn't take the point. She played French.
Yeah, she played the French. Yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful move order, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, let me show it to you. I lost that game in a completely winning position, so I was really upset. But yeah, here I played d4. I prepared for it. I prepared so much for this. I was like. Yeah, because I really wanted to get her out of theory as soon as I could. And so I prepared for some lines, and then she played d6. And I was
don't show us the secrets of that line.
I forgot it already. That was 4 years ago, I think. Okay. I only prepared it once, so I did forget it. But that was.
If you forgot what you prepared 4 years ago, is good. I mean, I'm forgetting what I did yesterday already. So 4 years is good enough. You're
okay, thank you. Thank you. My memory is still okay. But yeah, so yeah, e4, I play d6, we go for I prepared the French for this line because my opponent, she is a type of player that wants to play really sideline openings all the time. And you're going to see that she played d3. And here she played queen e2, like very, very, very sideline-ish. Not at all the main line. And so actually I did prepare for queen e2 immediately in this position, or d3 and knight f6, or knight c3 here, but I did not prepare for queen e2. So I was like, oh my god, what do I do? And I mean, I was thinking of a few options like bishop e7, knight f6, I was thinking c5, but the idea of white here is, for example, that I don't know, for example, if I play this, the idea is that I should for example,
how do you take with the pawn? If c5,
yeah, exactly. So the idea of white is that she plays queen e2, so I take d5 with the queen, not with the pawn, which I would prefer to.
Especially once the queen is on e2, you would prefer to take with the pawn, of course, because then the queen will be open. So bishop e7, e5, d5, it's great for black.
Yeah, I was considering bishop e7 as a good.
You will not take here d5, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but she can just play the king's Indian attack with knight f3, g3, bishop g2, knight b2, short castle, and the queen on e2 is well placed, actually. And sorry, I just saw the chat. Super Angel said hello. As a new player, I'm kind of obsessed with an engine, but I think it's wrong. If engine doesn't like a move, that doesn't mean it's unplayable, right? We were just discussing that. Yeah, engine kind of destroyed their lives. Yeah. So for sure, do not look at the engine all the time. Actually, that's why you need tilt chess, because even the engine is going to tell you better moves than us. We will try to explain how we get to a conclusion, how we try to find the best moves. I mean, because an engine can only tell you the solution. But it's like when, I don't know if it happened to you, but when I was going to the maths teacher and the lessons in the school, let's say, I mean, if you needed to find a solution, you needed to explain how you reached that solution as well.
Exactly.
So otherwise, the teacher will tell you, no, this is wrong. Even if you got the right solution, it's not good enough. We need to know how you get there.
Exactly.
Chess is a little bit the same. If you use the stockfish, he's going to tell you the best move, but he's not going to tell you how he did it to reach that move.
And yes, that's why getting a coach is so much more practical, because learning chess means that you have to understand the idea, the position, the deepness of the move that you play, and computer is not going to tell you that. Computer is going to tell you this is the right move and this is the only right move and this is the line. And it's horrible to learn like that, because you're just like, okay, this is what computer says, it must be right, and you're not going to think, oh, well, this is an actual idea and that's why this is a great move. And sometimes computer moves are not the most practical moves either.
As well, yes. True.
So sometimes it's better to play practical move than computer move as well.
Even if, for example, let's say a computer move is winning, but you need to play 20 only moves afterwards, and you will never find that 20 only moves, okay, then it's better to play just a human move and then just continue the game, let's say. I mean, many times in my life, I prepared for a game, I played everything what computer said, then I reach a position where I don't understand anything. It's like, what am I doing here?
I know. Me too. In the last years, I've been preparing all by myself. And the only way I could do that is by looking at Grandmaster games and then checking the moves with computer, which then you're going to reach a position that computers say this is better for you, let's say 0.5. And then the next move, because you don't understand the position, you're going to mess it up. And then it's going to be -1 for you. So, yeah, it's really important that somebody tries to explain the idea.
Yeah, I had a funny anecdote. I think I'm not sure I explained the game in the Spanish version of Tilt Chess, but I reached a position where I'm winning, actually. I know I'm winning, but I don't know how. That's very funny. So because my opponent had only moved to survive, and the other moves, according to computer, he was losing.
Yeah.
And he played some different moves. So I reached this position. I know I'm winning, but I couldn't find how. And I was thinking like for 1 hour in this position, because I was like, I don't know how I'm winning. And it was very sad to play a move that is just around equal. Yeah. Because I cannot find the winning idea.
Yeah, and that's horrible.
It was just because I didn't, first of all, I couldn't calculate deep enough to understand but I mean, it's not only about computers, it's about understanding what you're doing. That's the main.
Yeah, now that you say that, I had a very weird experience, and I'm just going to show this game very quickly. So you know what I'm talking about. If this game, I don't think this game is here. So what happened to me, yeah, the game is here, it was that I prepared deeply in the computer line. I prepared so deeply, now you're going to see the game. I prepared so deeply, I played the London, and I prepared like with the computer pawn sacrifice. So here, this is all the line, yeah? Here I sacrifice a pawn, and I go here, and here I'm a pawn down, and here I'm very prepared, and I go rook c1 like as soon as I can. And here I prepared like bishop b7. I thought I prepared bishop b7, and my opponent goes queen g5, and I'm thinking, wait, I didn't prepare this. It must be losing for my opponent, right? I'm like, it must be losing. How do I win? Like, and then I think for 20 minutes, and I realize I messed up the move order, and I'm losing. So
because rook c1 it doesn't look like a good move, actually.
It doesn't, but actually what I prepared was like knight f3, bishop b7, and here rook c1, and then h6, and then bishop h4, and then some castle or something. I don't know.
Compensation for white here.
Yeah, no, there's big compensation, but I prepare all this, and I forget the move order, and I go rook c1 immediately, and then here I'm thinking, oh, this must be winning. She played this, and yeah, and then I realize I'm lost, and here actually I'm just lost. So that's even worse. It could happen. Anyway.
If you only try to memorize, it's not very good. You need to try to understand very well what you're doing. And when you hurry up to try to prepare for a game and you do it just the previous hours from the game, it can be very dangerous. It's double-edged because it can go on the wrong way as well, as it happened to you in that game.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's also the problem of listening to computer all the time. I knew what was my idea, but okay, I mean, messing the move order is very natural thing to do anyway, so it happens. So we're just gonna go quickly to the position. So here I didn't play bishop b7. I wanted to do something else because I thought my opponent prepared for bishop e7 as it looks the most natural move for me. So I went knight e7, which is a bit different, but the idea is that I can still take with a pawn and maybe go g6 in the future and go for something like this.
It's a very logical move, to be honest.
It's interesting, but my opponent played bishop g5, so now I have kind of uncomfortable pin in a way. But I was like,
It's
okay,
a very weird move anyway, bishop g5, I would say.
yeah, it's weird, but at the same time, like when your opponent plays it, you start thinking, wait, actually, like it's kind of logical. Like the pin is not really nice. But I was like, I'm gonna go c5. If you take on d5, I take with the pawn. You don't threat anything, and she took anyway. So my opponent didn't really play very well in the opening positionally.
Actually, it's funny you are so worried about the pin. I mean, I was very worried about the pins when I was a kid. So really, you're much younger than me, and that's why you feel so worried. I mean, I wouldn't feel very worried about that pin.
No, I didn't feel worried, but I thought it was a bit of, it could be uncomfortable in the future, like if the position opened up. So I thought, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I remember I had the feeling when I was like a younger player, when I was pinned, I was like, oh no, this is over already.
Game is over. No, I mean, the thing is that you cannot really go f6, and h6 is an option, but then they just move, and then you don't.
And also g6, bishop f6, so you cannot really go for your main. It was your idea before.
Exactly. So
you need to change your plans now.
Exactly. I think that was mostly what I was worried about this bishop on f8 not being developed. But it's okay. It's not a problem. I mean, I go c5. I go for the center, which is kind of an idea in this French anyway. So now she takes. I'm very happy that she took. She stopped the tension. There was some tension, and she stopped it. So I liked it. And now I develop. And here she long castles. Now here is where I thought, okay, so she's not gonna long castle. She's gonna have to develop either g3, bishop g2, knight f3, small castle, have some game here, while I will have to worry about my bishop on f8 somehow,
It's g3, knight d4 you have, which is interesting. Huh?
Yeah, I do agree. Knight d4 is an idea. That's why I thought she would play knight f3
but
here.
Now you have bishop g4, which is interesting also.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Bishop g4.
So long castle is very logical from her side, I would say.
Okay.
I think long castle is logical, yeah, I mean, in a way.
Well, okay, then I wonder, we're going to get to the position, and I wonder what you're going to play. So first I go bishop e6 to develop, look at Mr. a2.
Yeah.
And
now soon you can probably run away with your queen, so some queen a5 or queen d5 or something.
Exactly. So for example, knight f3, very logical, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go h6. So here I think my opponent made quite a mistake. So here I was calculating she should go on f4. But she went on h4, which is, looks natural in a way.
Yeah,
but I mean
it's the kind of idea she is playing for. Somehow.
Yeah, she's playing still for the pin. And I mean, now I go queen a5, right? And now what do you do? I mean, what can you even do?
Well, a3 looks kind of natural.
a3?
It looks natural, but b5 maybe is coming also. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It looks pretty dangerous, to be honest.
Exactly. That's why I thought that long castle in the first place was already a bit risky. Exactly for that reason, because of queen a5, and I just run. I do not care about my bishop on f8 because I just have all my options here to attack, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in chess very often it's about priorities. Well, in chess and in life, I mean, you cannot do it all, and you need to measure what is more important in the position. And in life, it's the same thing. I mean, you cannot do it all. You need to choose. And sometimes one thing is more important, or you give more importance to that thing. So here, she wanted to hurry to castle on the long side, but of course, and now, yeah, exactly. The bishop on f8 is not really necessary, because you need to hurry to take advantage of this b5 option, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could also, I guess, in the future, go knight f5, bishop e7. I don't know if it works now, but just like, for example, I could just play that, go slowly, bishop f6, go for the slow attack. But if I have b5 and my opponent also not developed at all, also this bishop not doing anything, this knight not doing anything, this knight's going to be attacked very soon. I mean, I can just go for the attack because I evaluated that my opponent has 0 counterplay. So,
and if you are a big fan of Mikhail Tal, I'm pretty sure he would have played that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And this was played in the game, and that's why. So here, that's why I was thinking bishop f4 was a bit more logical in a way that at least, you know, you put this bishop here, you have this bishop to try to go to d2 in case of queen a5 somehow. I don't know. I was just thinking that it's a better protecting move. Also, knight b5 sometimes an option for my
queen a5, maybe she could go d4 after queen a5.
So here I do have c4, I think.
Yeah.
Which was
b5 b4 is coming anyway, right?
Yeah.
b5 b4 is coming anyway. Yeah.
For sure.
It looks pretty dangerous for white, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. It does. I thought that maybe here she has to try to exchange some pieces or something, but yeah, it's very uncomfortable for my opponent. But I thought at least this bishop on f4 does much more than on h4.
It could be, yeah.
But so let's just check the game. So if we're already talking about the attack, I go queen a5 and my opponent goes d4, which is very logical because she wants to open up the center, open up the position, stop my attack, try to get queen on b5, maybe knight on b5, you know, have some nice counterplay. And in these kind of positions, when you try to attack on one side, and your opponent tries to open the center, you should, you know, not let him do that because this is I mean the attacking lesson, but in like if I was talking about the defense, when your opponent's attacking you, you try to hit back in the center or on the other side of the board. So yeah, for example, if I let my opponent open up the center here, I would have 0 attack in the future. Also a very bad position. Very, very soon.
And also, I mean, when we speak about attacking, I mean, everything in chess is connected. I mean, playing chess, you need to be ready to play on defense and attack, and everything's kind of connected. So, I mean, we speak a little bit about everything. It's like not because of the lesson, it's about attacking, is that we are gonna, I mean, not speak about other topics. I mean, it's not the...
Yeah, for sure. Everything's connected from the openings to the end game, even attacks in the end game. And yeah, defense and attack are actually very well connected, which I probably will have a lesson on in the future as well. But yeah, my opponent goes d4, and here I go c4. I do not let her open up the center in any way. I do not let her pieces to be active against my pieces, which are going to be attacking. So I'm very happy, you know, and here I think we can already say that I have an ideal attacking position because the opponent's pieces are very undeveloped. My opponent has no chance of attacking on the king side. Like we saw in the first game, my king is not castled on the shore side, which means that, you know, if my opponent's going to try to attack on the king side, they're not going to achieve anything. They tried to attack in the center. They didn't succeed. I closed it all. So, I mean, my pawns are going to just be running very, very soon.
Yeah, she has basically no counterplay. That's exactly the problem, I would say. Because your plan is easy. You have this b5, b4, or even ideas with knight f5, bishop b4 could be interesting as well, right?
Yeah.
Knight f5, bishop b4, or b5, b4. Both of these ideas look very tempting for you. And white, I don't see a plan. That's the problem. I mean, it's very difficult to play without a plan, actually. Because her position is like really blocked. And with this c4, you kind of made everything very... I mean, sometimes it's not only about the position, like the evaluation, but also the easiness for playing it. I mean, like your position is much easier to play with black. Also.
Exactly. Exactly, and honestly, maybe computer. So that's what when we're talking about computers, maybe computer here would say yes, this could be equal, but when you're human here, I thought,
It's so nice for you, actually.
I'm just like I actually do have an ideal position to attack without having to sacrifice anything, which that's why I chose this game for today. I actually did not have to sacrifice anything to get this position. Everything just worked out beautifully from the opening just because my opponent made logical moves, but there were wrong moves at the same time. So that can happen sometimes to people, and I was lucky in this game that this happened to me in a way. So yeah, so my opponent goes bishop g3. So when we talked about before, she should have went bishop f4. Now she spent another tempi to go bishop g3, and I go b5. Very happy.
d1 is the almost, but the knight is trapped also, so that's a big
Exactly.
problem.
So king b1, I go b4. This knight is trapped. It cannot go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I get a whole piece, which is great, right? So for example, she played a3. I did not see any other move than a3. And honestly, I really did not see king b1
I
before.
don't see another move as well, yeah.
And like we talked before, whenever we are attacking and our opponent is playing their pawns on the side that we are attacking on, I was so happy. Whenever I go b5, I open up either this file or this file. And that's one step closer to me checkmating my opponent.
Well, it's true that bishop g3 at least is controlling the rook b8 move. So with bishop g3, at least she stops this kind of attack with rook b8. So at least it's gonna stop you for a while. But also you have knight f5 at some point, which can get rid of that bishop, yeah, for example.
Very true, yes. But okay, I mean, a3 I go before. You have to take.
Before.
And I mean, again, what do you exactly do? Queen a1.
Run away with the king, like king d2 or something. I don't know.
That was played. She did play that.
Yeah, because I mean, it looks so dangerous with the king on c1.
Yeah, it does, because this is now my threat, kind of trying to take everything as I can. King d2 she played, and already, I mean, if you have to go king d2 in such position, it's horrible, right?
It would be great if she could connect the rooks, and she could play something like rook a1. The position would not be so bad. But the problem is this bishop on f1 is terrible, really.
So terrible. At least maybe she could have went g4 or something with bishop g2, trying something like that before. But here it's almost impossible for her to even like.
It takes too much time to connect the rooks. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean here, like we talked before, I just go knight f5. I'm gonna put another piece in my game. Also trying to remove this bishop in order to go rook b8. I mean, everything's put together right now. Another piece in the game, another knight in the game, maybe even this one, and trying to activate my rooks. And I mean, again, like such an ideal position.
I guess you were a very happy person here.
Yeah, I was. I mean, the thing is, whenever you're playing, at least for me, whenever I'm playing a game live, it's very unsure. I mean, there's always a chance that I blunder something in a line. So of course I had to be like still like, no, like, okay, we're gonna play this and this. Everything was very like, serious what I was thinking about. So yeah, so here she goes bishop e5.
Sometimes people ask me like, aren't you like bothered or disturbed that your opponent keeps playing when they're lost, for example? And I'm like, no way. I mean, this is the moment where I enjoy the most. I mean, like,
yeah.
when your opponent is like totally lost, for example, and they keep playing, and I'm like, yeah, of course, come here.
Yeah, play more. Let's go.
Exactly. And here's like you have such a beautiful position, so coordinated pieces, and her king is in the center, and your pieces are improving. And it's like, no, don't resign. I mean, just keep playing because this is so beautiful.
Yeah. Just I agree. I mean, I feel great here, but I mean, at the same time, I'm always like, you have to stay composed, right? You have
You
to.
need to be focused anyway, even if you are winning, of course.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
have a great position. And here, you don't even have a material advantage.
Exactly.
So
Not
if you're not careful, you can mess it up here. Really.
Yeah.
You need to be precise.
Yeah. So yeah, here I decided to get a bit wild. So the game is not just about, okay, let's just move the pieces and activate them. So I went 92, which I found very, very nice. For example, now I'm just trying to think. For example, after Rook A1, I think I was thinking of Bishop before. And now I have, like, very, very nice threat. And I mean, it's very, very uncomfortable.
The key point is like Rook A2, Queen A2 is
Yes.
good enough.
Yes, and just again, a pin is.
Oh, you were right. The pins are great. I mean, the
Pins are amazing. I mean, yeah. You take that away, give more pins than you can. But yeah, I mean, here my opponent went Bishop C7, trying to get rid of my knight here on A2. So I take, they take back. And here I start to think, okay, I could go back with the queen, they go back. But then what did you...
Camp, for example, or Bishop B4.
Yeah, so I was just thinking maybe I should go Rook B8 immediately. I mean, Rook B8 immediately is just a very logical move. I was just trying to trick my opponent to try to go Rook B1 as soon as they can, because then again I have very nice pins, as you will see, because of my rook. So Rook B1, Queen A5. The only move is Knight C3. Otherwise, for example,
the knight is hanging.
The knight is gonna hang. So Knight C3, the only move, and now Bishop B4. And this is a much bigger threat than in the position if the rook was not on B1, because of this beautiful, beautiful pin again.
You're in another tempo, and you're also castling and Knight D6, Knight E4. You have a lot of ideas, and White's position is kind of collapsing already.
Yes, I mean, not a lot of moves. Yeah.
I think we need to hurry the game to try to explain a little bit the platform of tilt chess, right? Because we are like, I don't know how much time, but we are speaking. We are like 1 hour 23 minutes now.
Yeah.
So okay, well, anyway, I mean, we let's finish this game.
No, yeah, I hopefully,
you're close to finish this, I think.
Yeah. We're just gonna finish it very quickly. We spent so much on the first game, but yeah. So
I mean, we gave Tal a lot of credit, and
yeah, it's okay. So yeah, Rook D1 played by my opponent to stop, this idea of the pin, and now I go Knight D6, like you said.
I saw an idea, Bishop D6 back. That was beautiful. You saw that line? Bishop D6, Rook B1 back, Bishop F4, King D1, Queen C3.
Queen C3.
That would be beautiful.
Oh, that would really be beautiful, yes. The problem is that my opponent... Well, maybe
it doesn't need to go B1 back, But the position is anyway winning. So what you did is just totally right.
For sure, no, but that's a very beautiful what you just suggested. But I decided to go Knight D6, stay simple, go Knight E4, another pin, just take advantage of all the pins I can, and again, Queen E5, a pin. But this is a weird game. But look, this is a very nice trick. So if I went here, my opponent would have just taken this knight, and suddenly I would be in a losing position due to this hanging rook and then another hanging rook on this side. So then my attack would basically kind of be over, and then I would be the one crying. My opponent did...
You said you always need to be careful.
Yeah.
You cannot relax in chess because you can make a last mistake always.
Exactly. Like one small mistake like that, and the whole winning game turns into losing. So here I just said, you know what, castle, connect the rooks, defend this rook, stop this pin, and just the next move, go Knight E4. So just to quickly finish the game, my opponent played Knight G1 here, which I find really funny. And after knight e4, they take, and now I just take here and go rook b1, which is a very beautiful attacking move, and soon one piece at least will be lost. Queen a1, and now I just go rook b1 and queen b2,
Wow.
threatening
Yeah,
piece
white's
one checkmate.
pieces are totally paralyzed. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. And here she resigned. I mean, here she could have maybe played king e3 and then lose this piece,
Yeah.
and then next time lose the bishop. So basically, it's very much.
I can understand why she resigned, really.
It's horrible for her. So yeah, basically that was just a game to show that you do not really have to sacrifice anything to attack anyway. And yeah, sometimes it's even more relaxing to play in such a way because you're not down a material. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So we are gonna thanks for showing this game, Laura, and we are gonna show a little bit around the platform, the Tilt platform, so people see a little bit what is going on there. And we have a tournament as well, as far as I'm reading here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tournament in the platform very soon as well with the people who is in the platform, so they can play this tournament. We are gonna keep doing different things. Of course, the platform is growing, so I'm gonna stream a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use also my own channel, and
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Laura, for promoting us with Chiquitas as well. Your Twitch channel, which is very funny channel. I think you do that with a couple of friends as well, right?
Yes, I do it with two friends, Te and Lara. We all play chess, and sometimes, yeah, we do some other fun stuff as well. Aida Lucas in the chat, yeah. He's from Argentina, and he's in our chat a lot. He's amazing, and I'm so glad he's here right now. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully we're gonna grow a bigger platform together, and I'm excited for your streaming. I'm really sorry we couldn't show your game. We really put a lot of effort in Tal.
My game, I was proud because it was against Nepomniachtchi, who is leading now, who is probably going to play against Carlsen. But we'll have time, don't worry, we'll have time. I mean, Tilt Chess in English is just starting. So we'll have the time to show a lot of games, and we hope to have you back very soon.
Yeah, you will try put more pins in your life. Okay. So okay, I'm just gonna quickly show you around the platform. So everybody who is in the chat should go to tiltchess.com right now. Here you have Spanish or English language, and what I'm gonna show you right now is first of all the prices. So I think this is in Spanish. Wait, I should go to English one.
But as you are starting to learn Spanish,
yeah, I know everything in Spanish anyway, so it's fine. So first of all, it's very affordable. 12, you can decide to pay monthly, just like by 1 month, and if you're gonna be happy, then you can improve. But you can also buy for 6 months, 65 euros only, or 1 year for 120, which is even a discounted price than, for example, if you just buy 1 month by 1 month.
And to be honest, we are not sure how long we're going to keep these prices.
If we're going to grow, yeah.
It's like a super price, really. I mean, it's like, you cannot find something cheaper and better than that. It's just... Really
for example, if you go to some coaches pages for individual lesson, you're going to pay 60 euros, 40 to 60 euros for one lesson. And here you get in a month, like 5 lessons plus some psychological lessons, not only chess. And not only that, what I'm going to show you now, this is not just like some lesson. This is more than that. So here we would have, I'm just going to show you, we would have a lesson where I would be having this board and you guys would be here in the chat. If you had a question, you can write in the chat. Then we have a leaderboard, because if I ask a question, which you will see in the future, you can get very nice points. For example, I can ask a quiz. And right now I'm going to ask a quiz. Load from study. Sorry. So we're going to create a quiz right now. So you guys are going to be able to see how this works. For example, here I'm going to select this one as a study. Next. Done. And this is the study. And then we're gonna go to the quiz. I'm gonna create a quiz.
Well, you're such an expert on the platform.
Yeah, I'm already such an expert. And here we loaded the puzzle. We click done, and now you guys, have a quiz, and you after the lesson is over or in between the lesson, you solve it.
Yeah, there is like a rankings, and you put some problems, and people is solving the problems, so they get up in the rankings. And it's kind of fun actually. I mean, I was because I'm joining different lessons of different masters, and I like to do it myself also. When for example, if you show your own game and you say, okay, here what would you play, and I'm also trying to guess it and try to get points. I mean, it's like a bit more interactive, entertaining for some.
Yes, so for example, here I can also mess with you a bit. So if you want to train even more, I can go hide pieces on the board, and you as students will not be able to see the pieces, and you will have to calculate everything in your head.
Wow.
Which is also very interesting stuff.
That's beautiful.
So I'm just trying to ask a question. So here I'm gonna ask a question, for example, and the solution would be, for example, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6. And here I ask the question, and you guys have your own board where you can solve, and nobody's going to see your solution. You're going to play knight c6, knight f3 played automatically, knight c6, and you get all the points. And this is where the leaderboard comes in, which is really cool. So I, for example, show you the game, and then I ask a question, what is the best move here? And then that's, in a way, you can compete to other students as well. Which I find really, really amazing that this is also a way to train, that you are also included as an individual to the studies. And yeah, so then we have some studies, have a quiz, like we said, we have assignments. So if we're going to have to do some homework sometimes.
Homework. Oh, I hate homework. No.
Yeah, I know.
Only if you want to do it. Eh? Only if you want to do it.
I think we should do it like only, that it's not obligatory. Otherwise, nobody will want to go to Til chess. So it's gonna be like, okay, this is for like people who are good in school.
Yeah, I remember I had a chess teacher once, and he was giving me so much homework that I wanted to retire chess. I was like, no, I'm quitting chess. This is too much.
Yeah, I know. Homeworks are the worst. That reminds me, I have to do something until tomorrow. It's okay though. Yeah, and then we're gonna have this is the board. This is nothing interesting. Here we have some practice. So here, for example, after lesson is over, and if you're gonna want to review or have some practice stuff, you have different chapters. We will see if anything's already public. Basic checkmates, for example, this is already public, and this is practice. So for example, if you want to improve your checkmates, how to, for example, mate with the queen and the rook,
Wow.
then, well, let's just show it. Let's just show it, because I enjoy mating with queen.
Such a good technique you have. Yeah?
Gold shift! Yes! And yeah.
By the way, I think we have a tournament right now in 10 minutes.
Oh, sorry, yes. And this is, basically,
the tournament is gonna be on Lichess. Yeah?
Yeah, this is very nice. The tournaments are gonna be on Lichess, which I really, really like. I like Lichess a lot.
The platform of Lichess is amazing, to be honest.
It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I see tournaments here. Are we gonna? Okay. Create a tournament. This is not for me right now.
Yeah, I do have a link here, but I'm not really sure how to show you that.
I can share it in the chat if you send it to me.
Yeah, maybe. I can. Yeah, I'll send you the link somehow.
Okay, somehow do it. And yeah, this is the database. I do not know if the viewers are going to be able to see the database, but this is the database I uploaded just for today, for the lesson, which we didn't use all of the games yet. Okay, I see you send me the link. So this is going to be hard to share right now, but I'm going to go to Lichess to see how I can go there.
Yeah, I mean, there is a Til chess tournament on Lichess. Yeah, I mean, like it's like a little bit of a unity stuff. But yeah, I mean, It's in 10 minutes, so maybe I might play a few games, but I'm not sure I'll play all of it. But yeah, I mean, we'll have some masters for sure playing it, and we do make some share some different activities with the users. And well, I mean, I think we worked enough for today, Laura. So
we did work quite a lot. Hopefully, our viewers learned something and enjoyed our lesson together. It was quite some chatting as well, but that's in a good thing because chess is not all about just moves. It's a lot about psychology and some other knowledge that you need to get before you become a good chess player anyway. So
exactly. I mean, we do have, apart from chess, we have the psychology part, which is helpful as well. And
absolutely.
I hope you people enjoyed. Yes, and see you next time. Next week we're going to have another very interesting meeting. Laura and me, we are going to take a rest probably, but we have other grandmasters and very interesting people to come. So keep tuned and see you in the tournament now. And check the website for more details.
Yes.
And
I will share the link after the stream is over, so nobody sees my passwords. And so stay in the chat. Stay in the chat so I can share the links.
And also, probably it's gonna be possible to find it on Lichess directly. I mean,
hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, it should be possible somehow. But
we're gonna figure it out.
Anyway, okay. So I guess we kind of say goodbye by now, and see you next time, man.
Yeah, see you next time.